Another fantastic afternoon at the J Davidson Stadium. Altrincham have won for the second time this season by 6-1, this time against Solihull Moors in front of 2,041. Phil Parkinson, the Altrincham manager, joins us. Phil, when your front four all score, a striker returning from injury scores, and you score 6 goals at home, you know it's a very, very good day.
It certainly was one that we needed as well after the last 2 results. I think it was really important that we made a bit of a statement today, and the lads certainly did that.
The first goal, Marcus Stackers, he looked like he'd been playing for ages for us, and that looked quite a simple finish. It wasn't. It was a really tight angle. It was a sublime finish.
Yeah, well, the whole idea of bringing Marcus was one, his goal return. We knew we'd get that from him at this level of football from what he did at Southend and Woking. And I feel in our team we'll supply him the ammunition that he needs to shine, and it alone's a two-way street. If he plays well for us, then obviously he'll get the rewards back at Salford or whatever happens with him in the future, and we'll get our rewards through what you saw there, them top performances. So it was, as you said, a very accomplished finish, and I felt after the week we've had, it was so important that we managed to get him in terms of to give that front line a lift, because I felt like they looked a little bit jaded the last 2 games, and when you bring a player of that quality in and that stature, they're the results you get.
We started really well, but Solihull also had their moments, and before the opening goal, Ethan Ross has made a magnificent save.
You've got to remember we've changed the back 4, haven't we? So from a point of fairness, James and Sam have waited ever so patiently, whilst Lewis and Jake have done ever so well for however many games it's been, and their professionalism and the way that we like to work things here deserve the opportunity. And I think that's what you found in the opening exchange, is probably Sam and James a little bit out of sync with the organisation, and once they got to grips with that, it could have cost us, but it didn't. And Solihull will probably feel aggrieved by that, but ultimately, even if they score that, I think we could have scored so many more today. And once they got to grips with that, we were absolutely fine.
The second goal was a big moment in the game. Justin Amaluzor's cut in from the right, and he's just curled it round, used the defender, curled it round the defender where no goalkeeper's going to get it. A little bit Dan Mooney-esque. Absolutely, and
I feel with Justin, I've been speaking to the forwards quite a lot lately about their numbers. And Justin's hard work probably wasn't reflecting in his numbers, and he's kicked in now with his goals and assists more so, because everyone can see he gives everything for the football club. And like you said there, the bit that he needed to do better was his shot selection, and you saw 2 different finishes, and he could have had a third with his free kick as well that was blocked really well by their defender, and he was absolutely irrepressible today, wasn't he? He was on fire.
Fantastic performance, and the second goal was the most delightful chip.
Yeah, it was. Like I said, the shot selection is something that we keep speaking to the forwards about, not being wasteful, and I'm saying we've been wasteful there, and we've scored 6 goals, but I really think we could have scored another 3 or 4 if we would have chose the right pass. But listen, Chris, Justin in particular, Marcus, Noobs, I come after them a little bit from the Rochdale game, and they responded superbly tonight.
After the second goal, it wasn't too long for the third goal to arrive, 2 minutes, and a little bit of fortune as Marcus Stackers' shot was deflected into the path of Chris Clark, but good awareness from Chris. He was on the spot, and it was another good move.
Absolutely, and that there, in terms of where we're speaking about shot selection, probably more so with Justin, that little bit of wanting to score a scruffy goal, smelling the moment to score. You don't see Chris score many like that. He scores absolute wowzers, or really well worked finishes, but that one was one where he's reacted superbly well.
And the goal early in the second half, scored by Alex Newby, that was the picture goal of the game. Some magnificent passing and movement.
Yeah, well, that's what we're all about, isn't it, in terms of having them moments, them sequences, the combinations, rotations, and what we need is the forwards to finish them off, and they all did today, and Noobs. And he's another one where he's worked ever so hard and probably hasn't got his rewards in terms of numbers, assists, goals. I'm delighted for Alex that he's got that goal today, because it was a top draw finish.
It absolutely was. Regan Linney's come on, and he's got his goal. That'll give him a little bit of confidence and do him in the world of good.
Well, we were speaking about who was coming on, And I was looking down the line and I saw Dior and Regan, and I thought whoever I don't put on here is going to give me absolute daggers. And it was made easy with Justin pulling up a little bit, because Regan's obviously more natural off the side than Dior. So, yeah, Regan's come on, and he probably needed that. He probably needed that goal to sort of give him that confidence, because when Regan gets a defender 1v1, I'll back Regan every day of the week. He's got that gear shift where he can go past people like they're not there. Not many players have got that, and that's what separates him. And then the finish, he will have been disappointed with his first attempt. That's probably still in one of the gardens over there. But then he's absolutely finished with a plum on the second one, and that's what Regan Linney's all about.
You must have been delighted with the way, the tempo with which we started the game, but the way that we kept it up, even at 4-0 and 5-0, we didn't let up at one iota.
No, and I think that's because the lads are reeling from the 2 losses. But as I said, going back to the 2 losses, you go through everything after the game, and I was quite disappointed after Rochdale, not because we got beat 3-0, because I thought we didn't perform well, and I was probably a little bit over harsh with the players. They did perform well. It's just Rochdale, probably as we were tonight, were absolutely on it, and punished us every time they got an opportunity. 2 opportunities, really 2 really well worked goals by Rochdale. One was a mistake by us, and Eastleigh we should have won. I know we've lost, and it's crazy when you say that, but we should have won at Eastleigh. So the lads are performing well, and when we perform well and we defend right, and teams don't take every opportunity, which can happen in some games, and particularly in this league. I've never known a league like it, where forwards can be so clinical, and it can obviously shape the game. But ultimately our forwards and the team were absolutely on point today, and that's what happens here now. When we're on point, you've got to have to be a real good team to stop us.
There were superb performances all over the pitch. We were irrepressible going forward, but I must pick out Isaac Marriott right from the word go. I thought he was absolutely magnificent today.
Again, another player who come in for a little bit of criticism from me post-game after Rochdale, because I expect so much from Isaac. And what you saw tonight is Isaac Marriott, absolutely the best version of him. I don't think there was a blade of grass he's not covered. I don't think there was a contact that he didn't win. First, second balls, even when it's not his own man, he can do what other midfielders can't in terms of cover 3 players at times. And we don't want him to do that, but ultimately that's the bit that he brings to us. He's so unselfish. Them extra percents that you need to win a game, he gives it us all over the park. And I thought him and Elliot in particular were back in terms of dominating the game. Elliot with his use of the ball, and Isaac's getting so much better at that, but they complement each other so well. And as long as they can stay fit, I think gives us a real good foothold in any game.
And the league is really shaping up very interesting now. And we've beaten in Solihull Moors a very good side, a side that we've now scored 10 goals against here at the J Davidson Stadium in 2 games.
Well, I think they've got that record against us at theirs as well, haven't they, in terms of away from home. So yeah, I'm not going to lie, it feels good when we beat a team like that because of what they've done to us in the past, and it shows how far we've stepped forward as well. So it's sort of that benchmark for you where you can see where you're up to and where you're going. Listen, they're a very, very good team. Andy and his team there, I think they were the only team to go unbeaten for a long period of time at the start of the season. He's obviously inherited a lot of players as well, and he'll put his own mark on it, and you can see what a good manager he's going to be in this division, and they'll be hurting from that. I've been there myself. But ultimately, I'm sure he won't lose too much sleep over it because they're still in the playoffs. So you're going to have these days in this division. Hopefully we don't have too many of them, or I don't really want any of them. But we've been there before, haven't we? I've stood in front of you and we've unfortunately been on the receiving end of a 5-goal defeat. So it's tough to take, but they'll bounce back. They're a good team. They've got lots of experience. But today was our day, and our lads deserve all the plaudits. Is that 2 now that we've scored 6 in this division? I'll be interested to know how many times we've done that at this level. So it's a huge credit to everyone involved, the good work that all the staff do behind the scenes. I always go on about Neil's coaching, superb. Matt Fox in terms of the levels of fitness that you're seeing in the players, the fact that we're getting injured players back so quickly but also ready to play. George Wilson getting on the pitch there, Regan Linney coming back from injury. Matty Cos, you'll see a lot of them on Tuesday as well, because that'll be a real acid test for me in terms of just seeing how long a lot of the players can last, not coming on for 10-20 minutes. So we'll be strong on Tuesday. It won't be because we're trying to flex our muscles against Stalybridge. It's literally we've got a lot of lads returning. We need to see where we're up to, and it'll be now the lads have had a good look at that. The ones coming back, they'll see that they'll play, but they've got to earn the right to play, and that's what James and Sam have had to wait for. They've come back in, they've played. George has had a taste of it there. Regan's having a taste of it, but to play in this team, you've got to have a very high level every single training session, every single week, and they're the standards we've set, and that's why we're seeing the results we are this season.
And this Cheshire Senior Cup second round tie against Stalybridge Celtic, it's come at a good time for us because it's going to give us the opportunity to get minutes into players who need them. So you've got to be delighted with that.
It's come at a brilliant time. It couldn't have been any better for us. It would have been, the only thing that we could have done would have been a bounce game, but again, it would have been in a training session in the day. Listen, our lads will take it very, very seriously, because if they don't and they don't show up well, they'll be going out on loan. It's as simple as that, and they've been told that as well. So I know I don't have to worry about that. The only time I'll need to speak to somebody about going out is just because we know they're not at the levels needed, and they'll be going out to come back, because what we've got here is a great group. Been really patient with them in terms of the lads who've been injured, in terms of waiting, nurturing them, making sure that they're at the right point to be able to contribute to this, because this is where they want to be. Lads don't want to go out on loan, they want to be around this, but ultimately if you're not at these levels, then you're not going to be able to compete to get into the team. So this will be a good gauge for us tomorrow to see where a lot of them are up to.